ask you a question. And I've said this after the last week's show about not putting the cart before the horse. But I'm about to put the cart before the horse here for one moment. On paper, and obviously we know the game's not played on paper, but on paper, Florida State is a favorite against Louisville. A lot of our viewers, thank you for throwing in your opinion. John, we're done talking about uniforms. Okay. A lot of our viewers here are saying that Florida State's going to win convincingly. Sorry, Timmy, I have to. It's my job. A lot of people think we're going to win convincingly here. The next week, Boston College comes to town. Boston College right now 0-2. They should win this week. I believe they're playing Maine. Should, on paper. You never know. Because we lost to Jacksonville State still. Let's just admit it. We have to own it. On paper, they should come in 1-2. On paper, there is a chance that Florida State could end the month of September with a 4-0 record. There's also a chance Florida State could end the month 2-2. Let's just be honest. But let's say in the world of perfection, Florida State is 4-0 at the end of September. Do you legitimately believe at that point that Florida State should be in the conversation to be a favorite to win the ACC? Heading into October, that we play Wake Forest, we go to NC State, and we have Clemson. That's the 3-game stretch that I think is going to be the juggernaut stretch.
Yeah, I think if you start off 2-0 in the ACC, Jason, I think you do have, you start to get talked about, hey, are we a top 3 or are we top 5 ACC team? Or are we a top 3? Because I think that changes a lot of things. We got to see how Wake Forest looks with Sam Hartman. I want to see DJ play again over there at Clemson against a better opponent. And because I'm not counting the start of Clemson's reign so far of this season going off their last couple of opponents. I'm not doing it. Sorry. I'm not adding Georgia Tech in there to be someone that anybody should be worried about. So the conversation absolutely will start. It might start after the Louisville game. Like I said, if Florida State goes in and you win by a touchdown or more, that conversation already starts heating up. And that's just because Florida State has now would have been turning the switch here. If you go in, you beat teams that you're supposed to beat. This is something that we talked about all this offseason, Jason. Beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. You're supposed to beat Louisville. You're more talented. Yeah, I think Florida State has a more talented quarterback going into this game. I truly do. I think he's a better, smarter quarterback. That Cunningham, yes, he can run. He can do his thing. Jordan Travis can do that too. But Florida State isn't trying to do that with him, I don't think, this upcoming season. And they can if they want to. But if you look at Jay Trav, he will stay in that pocket as long as possible to get down the field. I think Florida State overall is the most talented team going into this game, and they will have it going against Boston College. So you're supposed to win these games. And then when you go face Wake Forest, you're more talented there. For the most part, there might be some positions that might have an edge on you just by a tad, but still Florida State has the talent all around. And it's how it's always been, but you got to win these games that you're supposed to. And that starts off with 2 ACC games coming up against Louisville and Boston College. You're supposed to go up here this Friday night and win this game. It's your 3rd year for Mike Norvell. You're supposed to go up here and win these games.
I'm like the dog in the Sarah McLachlan commercials, kind of those abused dogs that, in the arms of an angel's playing in the background for 25 cents a day. You too can save these dogs. I am concerned because I think Florida State has the talent to be 4-0. I think, yes, if you're going to say on talent, yes, Florida State is a more talented team right now than Louisville. Florida State is a more talented team than Boston College. On paper, there's no reason Florida State should not be 4-0 heading into that Wake Forest game on October 1st. There's no reason that game should not be 4-0 Florida State versus 4-0 Wake Forest. Primetime game. Let's get it under the lights inside Bobby Bowden Field. That being said, what we've seen from Florida State over the last 5 seasons, Logan just said it correctly. There's also no reason to not believe that Florida State can't play down to being a 2-2 team. There's no reason that we can't look at this and say that, because we've seen it before. We've seen a Florida State team last season. I would argue that I think Florida State had as much talent as Louisville when they played at the end of September, and Louisville came in and beat Florida State. Beat Florida State pretty handily. A solid first half for Louisville. That's just what concerns me. Is I need to see us play well against Louisville, because if that happens, I think we are going to have a much better season than both you and I thought we we thought we would have at the start of the season. Because I think this is the game where a convincing win, at least two possessions or more, gives me the confidence that I'm not going to be as worried about Boston College. I'm not going to be as worried about Georgia Tech or Syracuse or, we talked about Florida. Was Florida a better team than we thought at the start of the season after their upset win against Utah? And then Kentucky exposed them the following week. I think if Miami gets exposed against Texas A&M this week. So, yes, there's still a lot of things to go, but that's my concern right now is not playing the way we have the last 5 seasons.